Modifying your car is a great way to make it turn heads. That's why roughly half of my free course to make your car stand out is all about tasteful mods. But the truth is, you can actually make your car look better than all of your neighbors without a single modification. That's the beauty of detailing. So today, I'm going to transform this 14-year-old Toyota Camry with nearly 200,000 on the clock from winter beater to neck breaker. By the way, you can get that free course at the link down below. There's a saying in the business world: you do the things that most people aren't willing to do in order to be able to live a life that most people can never live. It's actually pretty simple, right? So if you want your regular, unmodified car to look amazing, you just have to act like a crazy person. Approach detailing as if it were a rare supercar or something. Then, clean and polish the different areas that most people aren't willing to, and it'll look better than most people's cars. Let's take a look at some ways that we can improve the looks of this car. For starters, when it comes to older Camrys like this is about as cool as it gets, because this one is actually the SE model, or the Sport Edition, I guess you could call it, and that includes these sort of more aggressive bumpers on it. I think it's got different suspension and stuff, but most importantly, it comes with these really nice 18-inch wheels. So we're definitely going to be swapping the snow tires over to these guys. And aside from that, it looks like it just needs a really good, thorough cleaning. It's fairly dirty, but if you look through the dirt, you can actually see, in terms of swirl marks and scratches, this car isn't too bad. There are some, but a few years ago, I did do a full correction and ceramic coating on this car, so it should come up really nice and really glossy just by giving it a good wash. So we're not going to do any machine polishing or anything to this paint job. We're just going to clean it up really good. But one thing that you can see definitely needs to be addressed is these headlights. These need to be restored very badly. You can see that they have the yellow haze on top of them, and that is no good. That's going to bring down the looks of this entire front end if we leave it like that. So that's the biggest thing that's jumping out at me. Another thing that I would like to do is do something with this black plastic trim. It's starting to look a little bit gray and a little bit weathered. And as we come around, you can just see more dirt, more grime. And because this is even cooler than a typical 4-cylinder Camry, this is the V6 model, which means it comes with the chrome dual exhaust tips back here. And that makes it a little bit rare from what I understand. So we're gonna have to do something to maybe polish those up a little bit. And then of course, just a deep cleaning and all the badges and stuff. We're gonna get in there and scrub. We're gonna foam this thing down real good. Let's get the dirty stuff out of the way first, starting with the inner fenders. I'm rinsing everything first to get the loose stuff off, then spraying an all-purpose cleaner in the wheel wells. I also spray my wheel cleaner while I'm giving the APC a few seconds to dwell. Reach in with a microfiber towel, dirty wash mitt, or a wheel brush to really scrub the plastic. Then scrub the wheel with whichever brushes allow you to reach everything. Even though we're switching over to summer mode and taking these wheels off, cleaning them up before we store them is a good habit to get into. If your car has carpeted fender liners like this one does in the rear, a pressure washer is your best friend. These can be a bit of a pain to clean, but luckily this car wasn't bad. I hit them with an all-purpose cleaner and tried scrubbing them with a brush, but the pressure washer definitely does the majority of the work here. One final rinse and you can see that they're looking decent again. This is a good time to clean your dirty door jambs too, especially after a long winter. It's best to stay on top of these because once they get really dirty with grease and grime, cleaning them becomes a bigger job. You can spray these with a pressure washer as long as you're careful about the angle you're spraying it. If you do splash some water in the interior, just wipe it off right away. It's not the end of the world. Time for the first round of foam. Because this car is black and it's been corrected and coated, I'm going to use my safer wash method here. So I spray soap on first while it's completely dry, let it lubricate the surface, then do my initial rinse to remove any loose dirt. Unfortunately, my pressure washer waited until I had soap on the paint to start acting up. It was surging and making weird noises as if the pump was shot. Pretty much the worst timing possible. Troubleshooting was extra stressful as I was watching the soap dry on the paint. Ugh. But luckily, it turned out to just be a clogged nozzle, so I swapped to a different one and was back in business. No need to be super thorough here because we're going to be foaming it again. I'm using a ceramic soap with SiO2 in it because, why not? We don't have to worry about it leaving anything behind because we aren't polishing this thing. And while it doesn't really add much protection, it doesn't hurt either. Since I'm doing more of a deep clean for the spring, I'm using a brush to get into all the emblems and stuff. This isn't normally needed on a regular maintenance wash, unless you find it fun. It might seem counterintuitive, but my safer method of washing involves only one bucket instead of two. No grit guards either. Just one bucket of soapy water with multiple microfiber towels. I fold them into fours and flip to a fresh side when they get dirty. When I'm all out of fresh sides, I toss it to the side, grab another towel, and start all over. This helps to avoid creating swirl marks because the dirt from the car never gets a chance to enter my soapy water. With the 2-bucket method, you can never be certain that all the dirt has been rinsed out of your mitt before you dunk it back in. This gives you added safety by ruling it out as a possibility completely. For a car like this, I typically use 3 or 4 towels, then wash them in the laundry when I'm done with Micro Restore or a detergent like that. You can use multiple wash mitts if you prefer them, but this works for me. Time for the final rinse, and this time you do want to make sure you get all the soap off. It tends to pool in different places when you use a foam cannon, so make sure to get it all. Also, if you find that the water is sheeting instead of beating up like it's supposed to, don't freak out. It doesn't mean your ceramic coating is dead or clogged up necessarily. Some soap manufacturers formulate them to do this on purpose so that there's less chance of water spots. Now that the car is nice and clean, it's time to dry it off. I'm using a leaf blower, but you can use one of those dedicated car blow dryers if you hate money. I wasn't worried about trying to remove every drop of water with compressed air because I'm coming back to apply G-Technic C2 V4. This car is coated with Crystal Serum Light and Exo, so keeping it all in the product family is a safe bet. With that said, I use it on other coatings too, and it works fine. Heck, I even use it on my uncoated MR2 and it worked great. Just make sure to use 2 towels to buff it off. One that gets saturated with the product, and one that stays dry and wipes off any haze left behind. That's the key to a streak-free finish in my experience. You can use any ceramic sealant you want, this is just the one that I've been enjoying lately. Alright, question for you guys. Have you ever seen a car on steel wheels and snow tires look this good? This has already made such a big difference to the look of this car. Look at how glossy it is. So this thing, again, has been paint corrected and ceramic coated a few years ago. And you see how the reflections and the gloss just comes right back out. I just wanted to give you a quick little progress report of the gloss after washing it. Look at that. I'm pretty sure I did the correction on this car like 4 or 5 years ago. So it's looking pretty good. All right, I don't know about you guys, but I can't stand to look at this car on the snow tires anymore. So it's clean, we gotta get these 18-inch wheels back on it. And before we do that, I'm just gonna get them kind of ready to go. So I don't have like a wipe-on ceramic wheel specific coating for these right now, but I am gonna hit them with the same ceramic spray that we've used on the paint here. This is gonna obviously boost up the shine a little bit, but also perhaps more importantly, this is going to make it so that the brake dust is a little bit less likely to stick to these, and that's going to be very helpful to keep them clean going forward. And this is much easier and quicker to do when they're off the car. I'm also going to be dressing these tires before I put the wheels on the car, just to work a little bit smarter and a little bit easier. I'm going to be doing the inner barrels as well, which is also equally as important. These wheels aren't exactly in brand new condition, but doesn't mean that they're not worth protecting and not worth cleaning and keeping in really nice shape. This is gonna take maybe 5 minutes to do all 4 wheels. To me, totally worth it. Also, a little tip for you guys. This applicator that I'm using for my tire shine, this is actually just an old ceramic coating applicator that I've used. You can't use this for anything on your paint ever again because it's gonna have the crystallized coating potentially in it, but your rubber doesn't care, so use it for a tire applicator. Works good. You can also get sort of like the first row of lugs this way when the wheels are off the car, and that just gives you a nice consistent look. One of those little details that most people would probably never notice, but to the right person, they're gonna look at your tires and go, wow, little things matter. So, look at that. That is a good looking wheel. Now these are ready to go on the car. Cool. That looks so much better already, but next up on the agenda is we gotta straighten out these headlights. So let's do a quick headlight restoration, get the ceramic coating curing on that while we deal with the trim and the little kind of odds and ends. I sanded the headlights with 1000, 2000, and 3000 grit, then polished the sanding marks out with a compound on a microfiber cutting pad. All right, here's a little before and after for you. This is the before, and this is the after. They're not perfect by any means. We can only save them so much, but this is a very big improvement for sure. Again, that's the after, and this was the before. So I'll do this other side and then we'll get the ceramic coating on there. All right, so now to seal these headlights up, I'm just gonna use the ceramic coating that's actually on the paint as well. This is G-Technic Crystal Serum Light. Here is the cold, hard truth for you guys. Once you restore headlights like this, they're never gonna last for many, many years ever again. I don't care what you put on it. They're never just back to brand new. They're gonna last you maybe 1 or 2 years or so is probably fair to assume out of a headlight restoration. And that's just the reality of it because you're sanding off that original coating. They're never the same. You're gonna have to keep doing this over and over again. The one kind of caveat is if you put paint protection film on here, that'll last like, you might be able to get like 5 years out of that, but they're never gonna be like brand new headlights again. Any headlight restoration is basically a temporary fix for if you can't afford new headlights or you just don't want to buy new headlights until you absolutely have to. So now that it's time to level the coating, obviously I'm paying attention to the headlight itself where the coating is applied, but almost more importantly, I want to pay really close attention to the surrounding area because if I've pushed any of the coating onto the paint in the neighboring spots, that's going to turn into a high spot on the paint. You don't want that. So you want to be very thorough with how you're leveling this and make sure you're double checking your work with good lighting. Just like that. I'm gonna come in and double check our work. Most importantly, on the surrounding paint, because high spots look like crap. Then, for the finishing touches, I applied a trim dressing to the black plastic and gave the exhaust tips a quick polish. In my city, these Camrys are often found in taxi fleets, but since this one is a bit of a sleeper with the V6, it deserves a little extra attention. Obviously, swapping the winter tires over for the summer wheels made a big difference, but this is also a great example of how you can transform a regular, older car into something that truly stands out, even if it's completely stock. Sometimes when a car gets older, all it needs to really turn heads is to be kept in way better shape than people would expect. No modifications needed. Keeping your car clean and shiny is the best way to make your car stand out from the crowd, even if it's just a regular car like this Camry. And if that sounds up your alley, make sure to sign up for Less Dirty in 30. It's where I email you a new idea for something that you can either clean or polish on your car every day. 30 ways in 30 days. Totally free, so hit the link below and plug in your best email address. And if you want to learn my strategy for keeping your paint swirl-free for 20 plus years, watch this video next.